This is the story of Moses, the man chosen by God to lead his people out of Egypt. A story of faith, courage, and redemption that changed the course of history. But first, let's go back to where it all began. Egypt, a land of immense power and ruthless oppression. The Israelites had been living in Egypt, but their population grew, and they became a threat to Pharaoh. To suppress them, Pharaoh issued a cruel decree. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be thrown into the Nile River. Among these perilous times, a Hebrew woman named Jochebed gave birth to a baby boy. She saw that her child was special and could not bear to lose him. So she crafted a basket, waterproofed it with tar and pitch, and placed the baby inside. With heavy hearts, she and her daughter Miriam set the basket afloat on the Nile River, praying to God for his protection. As the basket drifted, it was eventually discovered by none other than Pharaoh's daughter. She felt compassion for the crying baby and decided to adopt him, naming him Moses, which means drawn out of the water. Miriam, who had been watching from a distance, cleverly offered to find a nurse for the baby. And so, Moses was nursed and raised by his own mother before being taken to Pharaoh's palace. Even as Moses grew up surrounded by Egyptian royalty, he never forgot his Hebrew heritage. Years passed, and Moses grew into a strong young man. One day, he witnessed an Egyptian overseer beating a Hebrew slave. Anger boiled within him, and he struck and killed the Egyptian. Realizing what he had done, Moses fled Egypt, fearing Pharaoh's wrath. He found refuge in the land of Midian, where he married Zipporah, the daughter of a priest, and became a shepherd. While tending his flock near Mount Horeb, Moses encountered something extraordinary: a bush that was burning but was not consumed by the flames. Intrigued, Moses approached, and that's when the voice of God called out to him, "Moses, Moses!" Trembling, Moses replied, "Here I am." God explained that he had seen the suffering of his people in Egypt and had chosen Moses to lead them out of bondage. Moses was terrified and full of doubt. "Who am I to go to Pharaoh? What if they don't believe me?" he protested. But God reassured him, saying, "I will be with you." To convince the Israelites and Pharaoh, God gave Moses powerful signs: a staff that turned into a serpent, a hand that became leprous and then healed, and the ability to turn water into blood. Reluctantly, Moses returned to Egypt, though his brother Aaron was sent by God to assist him. Together, they approached Pharaoh with a simple yet powerful message from God: "Let my people go." But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he refused. What followed was a series of divine plagues that devastated Egypt. The Nile turned to blood. Hordes of frogs, gnats, and flies swarmed the land. Livestock perished. Boils afflicted the people. Hail destroyed crops. Locusts consumed what was left, and darkness engulfed the land. Yet Pharaoh remained unyielding. Then came the final plague, the death of every firstborn in Egypt. But for the Israelites, God provided a way to protect them. They were instructed to mark their doorposts with the blood of a lamb, so the angel of death would pass over their homes. This event became known as Passover, a sacred time that is still celebrated by Jews today. Devastated by the loss of his own son, Pharaoh finally relented and let the Israelites go. With great rejoicing, Moses led his people out of Egypt, carrying with them the bones of Joseph, fulfilling the promise made centuries earlier. But their journey was far from over. As they approached the Red Sea, Pharaoh had a change of heart and sent his army to pursue them. Caught between the sea and Pharaoh's forces, the Israelites panicked. But Moses reassured them, saying, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today." Stretching out his staff over the waters, Moses witnessed a miracle as the Red Sea parted, creating a dry path for the Israelites to cross. Once they were safely on the other side, the waters returned, swallowing Pharaoh's army and securing the Israelites' freedom. This miraculous deliverance became a powerful symbol of God's power and faithfulness. The journey through the wilderness wasn't easy. The Israelites faced hunger, thirst, and internal conflicts, yet God provided for their needs. Manna fell from heaven to feed them, water flowed from a rock to quench their thirst, and the divine presence guided them as a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. At Mount Sinai, God made a covenant with Moses and the Israelites. He gave them the 10 Commandments, laws that would guide their relationship with Him and one another. These tablets of stone were a sacred reminder of their identity as God's chosen people. Despite witnessing God's miracles, the Israelites struggled with doubt and disobedience, building a golden calf to worship when Moses spent 40 days on the mountain. Yet Moses interceded for them, pleading with God for mercy, and God, rich in love, forgave them. For 40 years, the Israelites wandered in the wilderness, a time of testing and transformation. Moses remained their leader, teaching them to trust God's promises and preparing them for the promised land. But Moses himself would not enter it. He passed the mantle of leadership to Joshua before climbing Mount Nebo, where he was given a view of the land from afar. And so, the story of Moses reminds us of God's faithfulness, even in the most challenging circumstances. It speaks of hope, redemption, and the power of a willing heart to change the world. Just as Moses led his people to freedom, Jesus Christ came to deliver us from the bondage of sin. Their stories are intricately connected, pointing to God's ultimate plan for salvation. Thank you for watching and walking through this incredible journey with us. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and follow for more inspiring Bible stories. And remember, God's story continues through you. Until next time, stay strong in your faith. #Bible #Jesus. #God #Jews. #Christian #Christianity #faith.